Hi, I'm Nick Stock. We're here at the Argyle stores in the Rocks for the launch of this year's Rosé Revolution, and we have about 90 rosés inside. A few of them you see on the table here. There are 26 locations around Australia, and hopefully through summer we are kicking off what's going to be an explosion of pale, dry, delicious and textural rosé. Well, the Rosé Revolution is, I guess, a celebration of a particular style of rosé, and I think particularly out of the Australian context, we've had a lot of experience with rosés that are a bit dark, they're a bit sweet, they're maybe a little clumsy and maybe not so much fun to eat with, and almost more like a light red wine. And I think what we're trying to celebrate here is the fact that rosé can be something that's very delicate, very elegant, and probably more like a white wine than a red wine in terms of its character. Doesn't need sugar to sort of make it yummy or delicious, and really works as an all-round kind of sort of salve to eating as well as drinking, kicking back and just chilling out. It's a great drink. Rosé with food is an incredible thing, and I think it's something that probably a lot of people haven't discovered. And one of my earliest great food and wine moments was actually with a glass of rosé, and it was here in Sydney at Bistro Moncur. It was a Jeff Merrill rosé, and it was a dish of salt cod, so it was really salty seafood, and this rosé was just the perfect thing to sort of I guess offset a bit of the saltiness, add a little bit of fruit, but it wasn't sort of an overbearing thing, and that really, I guess, set my eyes alight in terms of the potential for food and rosé. My favourite match with pale dry rosé is a really simple one, and I actually had it standing on the veranda at Rockford Winery many years ago as the sun was setting in the Barossa Valley, and a friend of mine had brought along a bottle of Domaine Tempier rosé, which is probably, it's the holy grail of pale dry rosés, and it's an inspiration for a lot of these wines you see on the table. And it's very simple, a barbecue and mussels in a half shell, so with half the shell removed and just laid in their shell on the barbecue only for a very short time, about a minute, and just a little drizzle of olive oil and a little crack of pepper. And in the time that you put the mussels on there, you've drizzled the oil, you've cracked the pepper, they're ready to take off, and their juices just come out into the shell, and you like an oyster almost is the way you eat them. And that is an amazing match with this sort of pale dry rosé. Rosé, I think, in this style is really interesting because you can use a whole range of grape varieties. You can use one single variety, you can use many varieties together in a blended format. And really, it's from a winemaking point of view, it's about understanding the potential of each variety to sort of be scaled back and sort of, almost like taken back to a sort of bare essence. And they'll all look slightly different, almost like sort of, colours along the spectrum. So you can see here on the table, you've got wines that are all sort of different shades of the same thing. So that, the world is your oyster in terms of the grapes you use. It's really about understanding the sort of the style that you want to end up with, and knowing that each grape is going to put you in a slightly different place along that sort of spectrum of pale dry rosé. Well folks, there you have it. That is the Rosé Revolution officially launched, kicked off, and it's going to be an incredible summer. There are loads of events coming up all the way through to things like the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival. We've got dinners happening. If you want to find out what is going on near you, go to the website, which is rosewinerevolution.com, and check out the fun there. Have fun with some dry rosé.